Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about another very big and very, very bad for Fox News Corp, America's favorite false news outlet, in the Dominion $1.6 billion defamation case. So, the basic way defamation cases work. A plaintiff will sue a media company. You got something about me wrong, hurt my reputation, did it on purpose. 9 times out of 10, very, very, very frequently, because of the high bar set by New York Times versus Sullivan, the case won't even proceed to summary judgment. That is to say, it'll be dismissed on the legal pleading, saying, you just haven't pleaded what you need to under the First Amendment, namely that it was both false statement of fact and that the defendants knew it. Sometimes they go through. Obviously, Fox versus Dominion did, and they got to take all this discovery, develop the facts of the case, the incredibly bad depositions by Rupert Murdoch and others, and the puzzling kind of stance of Fox News Corp that seems to be something like, oh, we knew it was false, but it's not our fault. It's our correspondents like Maria Bartiromo and Lou Dodds. But that is Fox. So anyway, the snippets we saw from Discovery were the first indications that this is such a very, very strong case for Dominion. And then more things have come to the fore. And we talked most recently about a pretrial conference in which Dominion kind of put together some of its evidence or exhibits for trial, and it looked dynamite. Okay, but something really big happened a few days ago, and very rare. The judge granted summary judgment for Dominion, at least partial summary judgment. That is, the plaintiff in the case, the judge said the facts couldn't be interpreted more than one way by a reasonable jury. And the jury that we seat starting in 2 weeks is just going to be instructed this decision is out of their hands. I've tried to find cases that go to trial, already very rare, and partial summary judgment. I should be clear, this is partial summary judgment, of course, not the whole enchilada, for the plaintiff. They're very, very rare. This case is shaping up to be historic and disastrous for Fox in many ways. But so the judge said, look, I've seen all this evidence. Guess what? As to falsity, the fact that all these things Fox said about Dominion were not true, summary judgment. We're not going to fight about that at trial. Of course they're not true. Any reasonable juror would have to find they're not true. I am going to instruct the jury they're not true. So that huge first hurdle in the law, you just vault right over. And of course, there's a sense of momentum, even though there's the big second issue remaining, which I'll get to in a second, when a judge tells a party that. And to finish up the judge's rulings, so he grants summary judgment on the falsity, one of the two big points, and a couple other small things as well, like that the opinions were, the facts, the allegedly defamatory material was published, 2 or 3 little points that, again, are out of the hands of the jury. And for Fox, what did they get for their motions? Please grant us summary judgment on everything. Nada. So he gave them, they have to start, totally prove or, take proof. Well, proving is not wrong. It's a civil case. So it's who's going to win by a preponderance, all the points they want to make. And I just want to read one thing, on falsity. The evidence developed in this civil proceeding, Judge Eric Davis from Delaware wrote, is crystal clear, and that's capitalized in New York Times, and I think that means by Davis himself, that none of the statements relating to Dominion about the 2020 election are true. So, man, oh man, it also gives an indication that that Fox has not impressed the judge yet at all with its lawyering, which actually asserted, on falsity, we win. And, he says, crystal clear, you're wrong. So that doesn't augur that well for the judge. He's a fair judge, don't get me wrong. But I mean, if you once a judge starts in this position of thinking that the Fox lawyering has been so ineffective, that can't help but influence. So, partial summary judgment granted for Dominion, 0 summary judgment granted for Fox. Trial coming like a freight train 2 weeks from today. It would really behoove Fox in this kind of position to settle. It would appear that Dominion is like going full on, pedal to the metal, wants to go to trial, and given punitive damages, could be looking at an enormous verdict. On the other hand, just want to point out that Dominion's damages are a little bit expanded. They are well more, for example, than the apparent entire valuation of the company. So you can imagine if the war room at Fox is saying, holy hell, we've got to avoid this. We've got to make a huge offer to them in the billions. It might be something that would be rational for Dominion to take, because you can see a circumstance in which they win a trial, which they're very likely to, but then get damages that are less than Fox is offering in settlement. But it sure seems as if Dominion is ready for trial. Fox has hired a very nationally prominent trial lawyer, so this is shaping up to be maybe the most important trial in U.S. history on defamation, and it's one in which Fox starts with 1 or arguably 2 strikes against it, having the jury informed, don't even think about falsity, this is so clearly false. So there you have it, trial coming in 2 weeks. Big stuff, big stakes for Fox, of course, and maybe for defamation law and in a certain sense, U.S. media history. Stay tuned. I'll certainly be staying tuned and be telling you about it, including potential settlement whispers. Until then, talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.